Hello, my name is Dr. Alistair Finch. For the better part of a century, I have lived my life guided by two principles: the unwavering duty of a physician and the insatiable curiosity of a researcher. At 87 years old, I confess I find myself more at home in the quiet solitude of my laboratory than in the bustling examination rooms where I spent so many years. The scent of old paper and sterilized glass has become more familiar to me than the scent of antiseptic, but today is different. Today, I feel a profound obligation to step out from behind the microscope and speak to you directly. I need to share with you a truth, one of many I have come to understand over a lifetime dedicated to medicine. It is a truth that, I suspect, many in my profession consciously avert their eyes from. It's a reality that hospitals and clinics may not be eager to publicize, perhaps because it doesn't fit neatly into the profitable models of modern healthcare. I am here to talk about the hidden truths surrounding skin tags and flat warts, those common afflictions that trouble so many of you. How many times have you heard these words, or something similar, from a doctor or a well-meaning friend? Just leave it alone. It will eventually go away on its own. It's purely cosmetic. Unless it bothers you aesthetically, there's no need to do anything. It's just a sign of getting older. Do you have any idea how deeply irresponsible such dismissive reassurances can be? They are comforting lies, wrapped in the veneer of medical authority. Today, with the time I have left, I intend to tear down that facade and expose the inconvenient, often unsettling, truth that lies behind those well-intentioned words. Perhaps you're here because you've been worrying about those tiny growths on your neck, your face, or under your arms. Maybe you've dismissed them as simple marks of age or minor skin troubles. If so, what I am about to share with you may fundamentally change your entire perspective. When we speak of flat warts, which are contagious, to treat them with casual indifference is not just ignorance. It is tantamount to cultivating a disease on your own body. You are, in effect, farming a virus. I am fully aware that my message today will not be popular. It will certainly not be welcomed by clinics that promote expensive laser procedures or pharmaceutical companies that profit from prescription creams. They thrive on a system that keeps patients in a cycle of dependency, but my allegiance is not to a corporation or a medical board. As a medical scientist, and more importantly, as a fellow human being, I feel an unshakable responsibility to tell you the truth. My deepest hope is that this information will serve as a spark, a small flame, that helps you reclaim sovereignty over your own health. If this mission, this declaration of medical independence, resonates with you, then I ask for your support. Please, take a moment to subscribe and click the like button. Your engagement gives me the courage to continue speaking out, to ensure this truth reaches those who need to hear it most. Your support is the fuel for this fight. I want to take you back a few decades, back to a time when I was a tenured professor of dermatology at a major university hospital. My days were a revolving door of patients, each with their own story etched into their skin. Hundreds, even thousands, of faces passed through my office, but there is one that remains as vivid in my memory today as if it were yesterday. Her name was Eleanor Vance. She was a woman in her early 40s, a homemaker with 2 young children. The moment she stepped into my examination room, I could feel the heavy cloak of shame and anxiety she wore. Her shoulders were slumped, her gaze fixed on the floor, and she clutched her purse with white knuckles. When she finally lifted her head, I saw the source of her distress. A severe outbreak of flat warts had spread across her entire neck and parts of her face. It wasn't just a few. It was a constellation of tiny, raised lesions that gave her skin a rough, uneven texture. With tears welling in her eyes, she told me her story. It had started with just 1 or 2 small bumps. She visited a local clinic where a hurried doctor glanced at them and dismissed them as just a bit of adult acne. He told her not to worry about it. Trusting his advice, she did nothing. But the acne didn't go away. Instead, it multiplied. It spread from one spot to another, like a slow-motion wildfire across her skin. She finally broke down in my office, her voice cracking with a pain that went far beyond skin deep. "Dr. Finch," she wept, "my own children are scared when they look at me. My little boy flinches when I try to kiss him goodnight. My husband, he doesn't look at me the same way anymore. And this is all my fault, isn't it? Because I was ignorant, because I believed it was nothing. In that moment, something inside me shattered. I felt the profound weight of my profession's failure. In the face of her raw suffering, I felt an acute sense of helplessness, but it was quickly replaced by a cold, hot anger at the misinformation and the casual negligence that could allow a person's life to be so thoroughly devastated. I saw, with absolute clarity, how a few careless words from a trusted professional had led to years of emotional torment for this woman. From that day forward, I knew my mission had to change. It was no longer enough to simply treat the visible symptoms of a disease. I realized that the true calling of a physician is to empower patients with knowledge, to help them understand the fundamental nature of their ailments, so they can make wise, informed decisions. And sometimes, I realized, that means standing up against the ingrained, often commercially driven, practices of the medical community itself. It means choosing the patient's well-being over professional convenience or industry profits. Eleanor Vance's tears were a wake-up call that has echoed in my conscience for the rest of my life. Her story became the catalyst for a radical shift in my research. I began to ask myself a question that consumed me. How can we help patients move beyond a dependency on expensive procedures and powerful drugs? How can they learn to protect their own bodies and achieve a more fundamental, lasting healing? To find the answer, I had to step outside the comfortable, rigid confines of mainstream medical thought. I embarked on a journey that led me through centuries of human knowledge. I pored over ancient medical texts, from the Ayurvedic traditions of India to the herbal compendiums of traditional Chinese medicine. I simultaneously delved into the very latest molecular biology and immunology research papers, searching for a bridge between the old wisdom and the new science. My goal was to unlock the secrets of our body's own innate healing intelligence. Immune system. It was not an easy path. My colleagues, many of whom I respected, I began to whisper that I had become too idealistic, that I was chasing fantasies. Alistair is going off the deep end. I once overheard in the hospital cafeteria. My research grants, once plentiful, began to dry up. In the world of big pharma and the multi-billion-dollar medical industrial complex, research into natural, unpatentable remedies is often dismissed as unprofitable and therefore unscientific. But I refused to be discouraged. I was driven by a sense of urgency, by the memory of Eleanor Vance's face, and the quiet desperation in the eyes of countless patients like her. I was fueled by a passion for the truth. And in the midst of this struggle, I began to find what I was looking for. I discovered that some of the most powerful keys to healing were not in a laboratory or a factory, but were hidden in plain sight in our kitchens, in our gardens, in the traditional lifestyle habits our ancestors understood intuitively. At first, I was skeptical myself. Could the answers really be this simple? But I applied the same rigorous scientific methodology to these natural substances as I would to any new drug. I analyzed their chemical compositions, studied their effects on cell cultures, and, after extensive safety validation, I began to cautiously recommend them to my patients. The results were astonishing. I witnessed transformations that I could not have achieved with prescription pads alone. Now, let me be unequivocally clear. I am not claiming to have found a miracle cure that can vanquish all diseases. That is not how health works. But I can tell you this with absolute certainty. When we learn to properly understand and utilize the wisdom of our own bodies and the intelligence of nature, we can protect ourselves from a vast array of illnesses and reclaim a level of health we may have thought was lost forever. The information I am about to share with you is the culmination of that long arduous journey. It is the product of decades of research and an unwavering belief in a better way. To truly grasp its power, you must watch this entire presentation. The principles are interconnected. A tidbit of information gleaned from a short clip will not provide the depth of understanding you need to apply this in your life. Once more, I ask you, if you believe in this journey, if you believe in the pursuit of truth, please show your support. Subscribe, like this video, and most importantly, Share it. Help me spread this vital information so that it can reach more people and perhaps save them from the kind of suffering that Eleanor Vance endured. Now, let us begin. Let us open the door to a truth that no one else may tell you, but that you absolutely must know. Secret it. Know your enemy. The critical distinction. The foundational principle of any successful battle is to know your enemy. Before you can even think about treatment, you must accurately identify the unwelcome guest that has appeared on your skin. Is it a harmless skin tag, a contagious flat wart, or something else entirely? A vast number of people confuse these conditions, and that confusion is not just a mistake, it is a dangerous liability. Let's break this down with the precision of a surgeon. First, let's talk about skin tags. Known in medical terms as acrocordons, picture them as tiny, soft, fleshy growths that hang off the skin. They are essentially small balloons of skin made up of collagen fibers and blood vessels. They most commonly appear in areas where the skin folds and creates friction: the neck endos, the armpits, the groin, and sometimes on the eyelids. They are typically flesh-colored or slightly darker. The vast majority are benign, meaning they are non-cancerous. They are often associated with factors like genetics, aging, obesity, and hormonal changes, such as those that occur during pregnancy. They are also more common in people with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, but here is the single most important characteristic of a skin tag. It is not contagious. You cannot give a skin tag to someone else, nor can you spread it to other parts of your own body by touching it. It is a localized overgrowth of your own skin tissue. Now, let us turn our attention to flat warts, or verruca plana. These are an entirely different beast. A flat wart is not a product of your skin overgrowing. It is the physical manifestation of a viral infection. Specifically, it is caused by the human papillomavirus HPV. This is not a suggestion. It is a medical fact. Flat warts are a clear-cut viral disease. As their name implies, they are generally flat-topped or only slightly raised. They often appear on the face, the neck, the backs of the hands, and the legs. Their color can range from your natural skin tone to a pinkish or light brownish hue. They are usually small, but they have a tendency to appear in large clusters, sometimes numbering in the dozens or even hundreds. If you look very closely, you'll notice their surface is not as smooth as the surrounding skin. It can have a slightly rough or verrucous texture. Sometimes, they may cause a mild itching sensation. And this brings us to the most critical and dangerous feature of a flat wart. It is highly contagious. The HPV that causes the wart lives in the skin cells. When you scratch an existing wart, you can pick up viral particles under your fingernails. If you then touch another part of your body, you can create a new infection, a new wart. This is called autoinoculation. It's how one or two warts can explode into a widespread outbreak covering your entire face or neck. Furthermore, you can easily spread the virus to others. Sharing towels, razors, makeup brushes, or even simple skin-to-skin contact can transmit the virus to your family members and loved ones. I once treated a young man, a college athlete, who had a single tiny flat wart on his chin. He thought it was an ingrown hair from shaving. He would habitually scratch at it in the locker room. Within a few months, his entire beard area was covered in them. He came to my office in a state of panic, asking me, why didn't anyone tell me this was a virus? Why did I think it was just a pimple? His question was a tragic echo of Eleanor Vance's cry. To complicate matters further, there are other common skin lesions that can be mistaken for warts or tags. Milia. These are tiny, hard, white bumps that look like little pearls embedded just under the skin. They are essentially cysts filled with keratin, a protein found in skin and hair. They are common in newborns, but can occur at any age, often around the eyes and cheeks. They are harmless and not contagious. Syringomas. These are benign tumors of the sweat ducts. They typically appear as small, flesh-colored, or yellowish bumps, often in clusters under the eyes. They are also harmless and not contagious. Sebaceous hyperplasia. This condition involves the enlargement of the sebaceous oil glands. The bumps are yellowish, soft, and often have a small indentation in the center. They are most common on the face, especially the forehead and nose. In middle-aged or older individuals, again, harmless and not contagious. Each of these conditions has a different cause and requires a different approach. If you misdiagnose a contagious flat wart as a harmless skin tag, you might ignore it, allowing it to spread unchecked. If you aggressively try to treat a benign syringoma with a wart remedy, you could end up with irritated skin and zero results. Accurate diagnosis is the first, non-negotiable step. So, right now, I want you to go to a mirror. Look closely at your skin. Recall the features I've just described. Be detective. Is the growth soft and hanging? Located in a skin fold? It's likely a skin tag. Is it slightly raised? Flat-topped? Perhaps in a cluster on your face or hands? And maybe a little itchy. You must consider the possibility of a flat wart. Identify your enemy. Only then can you choose the right weapon. Secret 2. The kitchen pharmacy. Unlocking the power of apple cider vinegar. Now that you have a better idea of what you're dealing with, let's move on to our first method of intervention. And the secret I'm about to share may surprise you with its simplicity. It's not found in an expensive pharmacy, but in your own kitchen pantry. I'm talking about apple cider vinegar. Vinegar. I can hear the skeptics now. Dr. Finch, are you seriously suggesting a salad dressing to treat a medical condition? I understand the disbelief, but while many clinics are busy promoting costly laser treatments and cryotherapy, a robust body of scientific evidence and centuries of anecdotal success have shown that the organic acids in apple cider vinegar, primarily acetic acid, can be remarkably effective. These acids work by gently breaking down the excess tissue of a skin tag or the virally infected cells of a wart, causing it to shrink, darken, and eventually fall off. But, and this is a very important, but the type of vinegar and the method of application are absolutely critical. Using the wrong kind or applying it improperly can lead to skin irritation, burns, and even scarring. First, let's talk about selection. You must use raw, unfiltered, unpasteurized apple cider vinegar that contains the mother. The clear and filtered vinegar you find in most giant supermarket jugs is useless for this purpose. The mother is the cloudy sediment you see at the bottom of the bottle. It is a complex of beneficial bacteria, enzymes, and proteins that are believed to contribute to its therapeutic effects. Now, for the application, I will give you two methods, one gentle and one more potent. Method 1. The diluted apple cider vinegar soak gentle. This is the best method to start with, especially for sensitive skin or for use on the face. Preparation. Mix 1 part raw apple cider vinegar with 2 parts clean, purified water. For example, use 1 teaspoon of ACV and 2 teaspoons of water. Application. Soak a sterile cotton ball or a piece of gauze in the diluted solution. Treatment. Place the soaked cotton directly onto the skin tag or wart. You can secure it with a bandage. Leave it on for 15 to 20 minutes. Rinse. After the time is up, remove the cotton and gently rinse the area with clean water. Pat dry. Frequency. Repeat this process 2 to 3 times per day. You must be patient. This is not an overnight fix. It may take several days, or even a few weeks, for you to notice a change. The growth may first swell slightly, then begin to darken and shrink before it finally detaches. Method 2. The targeted apple cider vinegar paste potent. This method is more powerful and should be used with extreme caution, especially on the face. It is generally better suited for skin tags in less sensitive areas, like the neck or armpits. Protect the surrounding skin. This step is crucial. Apply a protective barrier around the growth you are treating. You can use petroleum jelly Vaseline or a thick, natural oil, like coconut oil or shea butter. This will prevent the potent acid from damaging the healthy skin around the lesion. Preparation. Take a very small amount of raw apple cider vinegar. Some people find success by dipping the end of a Q-tip into the vinegar. Others create a thick paste by mixing a few drops of ACV with a pinch of baking soda. Application. Using the Q-tip or a toothpick. Carefully apply a tiny amount of the ACV or the paste directly onto the skin tag or wart itself. Do not let it touch the surrounding protected skin. Cover the area with a small bandage. Duration: leave it on for a few hours, or even overnight if you can tolerate it. Rinse: remove the bandage and rinse the area thoroughly. A critical word of warning: apple cider vinegar is acidic. Before you apply it to any visible area, you must perform a patch test. Apply a small amount of the diluted solution to an inconspicuous area of your skin, like the inside of your wrist. Wait 28 hours. If you experience severe redness, blistering, or pain, do not proceed. Your skin is too sensitive for this method. A mild stinging or tingling sensation upon application is normal. However, if you feel a burning pain, wash it off immediately. Never, ever use this treatment on an open wound, a bleeding lesion, or near your eyes. I recall a patient, a 65-year-old retired gentleman, who had lived with a cluster of skin tags on his neck for over 30 years. He was self-conscious about them, but was too afraid of the cost and pain of having them surgically removed. I cautiously advised him to try the gentle diluted ACV soak method. He was diligent and patient. After 3 weeks of consistent application, he came back to my office with a wide smile. The skin tags had turned dark, shriveled up, and fallen off in the shower one morning. He was overjoyed. The answer was in my kitchen the whole time, he said, shaking his head in disbelief. This is a truth the medical establishment may not advertise. Sometimes, the most profound solutions are also the most humble. Remember that. Secret tree. The wisdom of the earth. Harnessing the power of Job's tears. Our second natural secret comes not from a fermented fruit, but from the earth itself. It is a traditional grain, a humble food staple that holds within it a powerful medicinal secret. I am talking about Job's tears, also known as koik seed or, in Japanese, hatomugi. For centuries, this remarkable grain has been revered in traditional Asian medicine as a jewel for purifying the blood, detoxifying the body, and treating a variety of ailments. In the modern medical world, it is often overlooked, dismissed as mere folklore, but this is a grave mistake. Rigorous scientific research has revealed that Job's tears contain an incredibly potent bioactive compound called koisenolide. This substance has been shown in numerous studies to have powerful therapeutic properties. Koisenolide works by inhibiting abnormal cell proliferation, the very process that creates warts. Furthermore, it exhibits significant anti-inflammatory and, most importantly, antiviral activity. Here lies the scientific basis for why Job's tears can be so effective against flat warts. Remember, the flat warts are a viral infection. While apple cider vinegar works from the outside in by breaking down the physical structure of the wart, Job's tears can work from the inside out, helping your body fight the underlying HPV virus itself. I will share with you 2 primary ways to incorporate this ancient wisdom into your life. Method 1. The Job's Tears Rejuvenating Face Pack. This topical application can help soothe inflammation, clarify the skin, and directly target the affected areas. Preparation. You will need finely ground, raw Job's Tears powder. You can often find this at Asian markets or online health food stores. Mix 1 tablespoon of the powder with 1 tablespoon of pure, natural aloe vera gel. Aloe vera itself is renowned for its skin-soothing and healing properties. Enhancement optional. For an added boost of moisture and antibacterial action, you can add half a teaspoon of raw, organic honey to the mixture. Application. Mix the ingredients into a smooth paste. After cleansing your face, apply a thick layer of the pack to the areas affected by flat warts, or to your entire face for a general skin-purifying treatment. Duration. Relax and let the pack sit for 15 to 20 minutes. Rinse. Gently wash it off with lukewarm water and pat your skin dry. I remember a young woman who came to my clinic in her late 20s. Her face was covered in flat warts, and she was in a state of deep depression. She had tried multiple rounds of laser therapy and prescription creams with little to no improvement. The treatments were painful, expensive, and demoralizing. I recommended that she begin using the Job's Tears face pack 3 times a week. In addition to making internal changes, Several months later, she returned to my office. The transformation was breathtaking. Her skin was clear, smooth, and radiant. She looked like a different person. Through tears of gratitude, she told me that this simple, natural remedy had given her back her confidence and her life. Method 2. The internal immune-boosting Jobs Tears Tea. To truly combat a viral issue, you must strengthen your body's internal defenses. This is where consuming Job's Tears as a tea can be profoundly effective. Preparation. Take a small handful of whole Job's Tears grains, about 14 cups. Rinse them thoroughly under running water. Brewing. Place the rinsed grains in a pot with about 1 liter or 4 cups of water. Bring the water to a boil over high heat. Simmering. Once it's boiling, reduce the heat to low. Cover the pot and let it simmer gently for at least 30 to 40 minutes. The grains will become soft, and the water will take on a slightly milky, nutty flavor. Consumption. You can strain the tea and drink it throughout the day, either warm or cold. Aim for 2 to 3 cups daily, treating it as you would water. Drinking this tea regularly helps to fortify your immune system from within, creating an internal environment that is inhospitable to the HPV virus. It helps your body fight the battle on a systemic level. Important precautions. In traditional medicine, Job's Tears are considered to have a cooling property. Therefore, if you are a person who generally feels cold or has a weak digestive system, you should consume it in moderation. Furthermore, pregnant women should avoid consuming Job's Tears, as it is traditionally believed to be a uterine stimulant, and as with any new topical treatment, always perform a patch test with the face pack on a small area of skin before applying it to your entire face. This is a truth the pharmaceutical industry will never embrace, that a simple, inexpensive grain, a food grown from the earth, could hold such powerful healing potential. But the wisdom has been with us for millennia. We only need the courage to remember it. Secret Fire. The ironclad defense lifestyle habits to prevent recurrence. No matter how effectively you remove an existing skin tag or wart, it is a hollow victory if you don't address the underlying conditions that allowed it to appear in the first place. If your fundamental lifestyle habits remain unchanged, you are simply leaving the door wide open for a recurrence. The ghost of the problem will return to haunt you. This is especially true for flat warts. As a viral disease, their recurrence is intimately linked to the state of your immune system and your daily hygiene practices. This fourth secret is about building an impenetrable fortress around your health, an ironclad defense that makes recurrence virtually impossible. Let's break down this defensive strategy into 4 key pillars. Pillar 1. The sanctity of your hands. Think about what your hands do all day. They touch doorknobs, keyboards, phones, money surfaces, teeming with countless bacteria and viruses. Then, without a second thought, you touch your face, you rub your eye, scratch your nose, or rest your chin in your hand. In that single, unconscious moment, you may have just delivered the HPV virus directly to its new home. Hand hygiene is not just a suggestion, it is a biological necessity. Wash thoroughly and often, after using the restroom, before eating, and as soon as you get home from being out in public. Use the 30-second rule. Use soap and running water, and scrub for at least 30 seconds. Make sure to get between your fingers, under your nails, and the backs of your hands. Live by this mantra. Your hands do not belong on your face. Period. Make a conscious effort to break this common habit. Pillar 2. Do not disturb the lesion. This is an absolute, non-negotiable rule, whether it's a skin tag or a wart. If it itches or bothers you, you must resist the urge to touch, scratch, pick, or squeeze it. This is the single most common way that flat warts spread. Scratching a wart ruptures the infected skin cells, releasing viral particles that you then spread to surrounding skin with your fingernails. Attempting to pop a wart like a pimple is a catastrophic mistake. You are effectively detonating a small viral bomb on your skin. I once had a patient who tried to remove a small wart next to his nose with his fingernails. The resulting inflammation and infection became so severe that his entire nose swelled up and turned bright red, a condition known as cellulitis. which required a course of strong antibiotics to resolve. Leave them alone. Pilartre. Fortify your skin barrier. Your skin has a natural protective layer called the acid mantle or skin barrier. This barrier is your body's first line of defense against pathogens. Harsh skincare practices can strip this barrier, leaving your skin vulnerable. Avoid harsh exfoliation. Aggressive scrubbing with abrasive materials or chemical peels can create micro tears in the skin, giving viruses an easy entry point. Choose gentle cleansers. Use pH-balanced, non-stripping cleansers. Avoid soaps with harsh detergents and artificial fragrances. Moisturize diligently. A well-hydrated skin barrier is a strong skin barrier. Apply a good quality moisturizer after every wash to lock in moisture and keep your skin resilient. Practice personal hygiene. This is critical for preventing the spread of HPV to your family. Never share towels, face cloths, razors, or makeup tools. Wash your pillowcases and towels frequently in hot water. A little bit of diligence can protect the people you love. Pillar 4. Build an invincible immune system. Ultimately, the best defense against any virus is a powerful, vigilant immune system. Your lifestyle choices are the training regimen for your body's inner army. Prioritize sleep. This is when your body repairs itself and produces immune cells called T cells and cytokines. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality, uninterrupted sleep per night. Nourish your body. Eat a balanced diet rich in whole foods. Focus on antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Foods high in vitamin C, citrus fruits, bell peppers, zinc seeds, nuts, legumes, and vitamin A, sweet potatoes. Carrots are particularly important for skin health and immune function. Move your body. Regular, moderate, exercise boosts circulation, reduce stress, and improves the function of immune cells. You don't need to run a marathon. A brisk 30-minute walk each day can work wonders. Manage your stress. Chronic stress floods your body with the hormone cortisol, which actively suppresses your immune system. Find healthy ways to manage stress, whether it's through meditation, deep breathing, yoga, spending time in nature, or engaging in a hobby you love. A positive mindset is a powerful form of medicine. These small, daily practices are not glamorous. They don't come in a fancy bottle, but when combined, they create a powerful synergy that builds a foundation of true, lasting health. This is the ultimate defense strategy. Secret Fem. The wisdom of humility, knowing when to seek professional help. The self-management methods I have shared with you today are powerful. They can bring profound relief and lasting solutions to a great many people. However, it is a grave error to believe that they are a panacea for every situation. There are times when self-treatment is not only ineffective, but can be dangerously reckless. This final secret, then, is about wisdom and humility. It is about knowing the limits of self-care and respecting the domain of the medical expert. Overzealous or misguided self-treatment can turn a manageable problem into an irreversible one. I want you to listen to these warning signs very carefully. If you experience any of the following, you must consider it a red flag. This is your body telling you that it's time to stop your home remedies and seek the diagnosis of a qualified dermatologist or trusted physician. Seek professional help if depleys. There is no improvement. You have been diligently and consistently applying the natural remedies for several months, and you see absolutely no positive change in the lesion. The condition is worsening. The number of warts is increasing. Their size is growing, or they are spreading rapidly to new areas. There are changes in appearance. The growth changes color, particularly if it becomes very dark, multicolored black, blue, red, or if its borders become irregular and ragged. New symptoms appear. The lesion begins to cause pain, starts bleeding for no reason, or develops an intense, persistent itch. The size is unusually large. If a skin growth is larger than a pencil eraser, or if it grows very quickly, it needs to be examined. The location is highly sensitive. You should be extremely cautious about self-treating any growth on the genitals, inside the mouth, or directly on the eyelid margin. These symptoms could indicate that what you have is not a simple skin tag or wart. In rare cases, a skin growth can be an early sign of something more serious, like skin cancer. Misdiagnosing a melanoma as a benign wart and trying to treat it with apple cider vinegar could have tragic, life-threatening consequences. I will never forget the chilling case of a patient who came to me many years ago. He had a small, dark spot on the sole of his foot that he had mistaken for a simple callus. For months, he tried to file it down and treat it with over-the-counter acid preparations. By the time he finally came to see me, the callus had grown and changed. A biopsy confirmed our worst fears. It was a malignant melanoma, the most dangerous form of skin cancer. We had lost precious time, and his prognosis was far worse than it should have been. His experience is a terrifying reminder of the dangers of self-diagnosis. In a clinical setting, a doctor has a variety of tools at their disposal. For skin tags, they can be removed quickly and simply with medical-grade scissors, cryotherapy freezing, or electrocautery burning. For flat warts, treatments can include prescription-strength topical medications, laser therapy, cryotherapy, or immunotherapy to stimulate your body's own response against the virus. The point is not that one method is inherently superior to another. The point is that a trained professional can make an accurate diagnosis and help you choose the safest and most effective path for your individual situation. So please, I implore you, do not engage in dangerous bathroom surgery. Do not take a pair of scissors or a needle and try to remove a growth yourself. Do not purchase questionable chemicals or unlabeled herbal concoctions from the internet. The risk of severe infection, permanent scarring, and life-threatening complications is far too high. Know your limits, respect your body, and when in doubt, seek out a professional you can trust. Conclusion: reclaiming your health sovereignty. Today, we have journeyed together far beyond the sterile confines of the typical doctor's office. We began by uncovering the shocking truth hidden behind the dismissive advice so often given for skin tags and flat warts. We learned how to distinguish between these two very different conditions, and then we armed ourselves with a powerful arsenal of natural, safe, and effective survival strategies. Let us quickly review the core tenets of our new understanding. Know your enemy. You now understand that a skin tag is a benign, non-contagious skin overgrowth, while a flat wart is a contagious viral infection caused by HPV. Accurate identification is the foundation of all successful treatment. Harness the power of apple cider vinegar. You have learned the correct type of ACV to use and the safe, step-by-step methods for application, always remembering the critical importance of a patch test. Embrace the wisdom of Job's tears. You now know about the powerful antiviral compound coisinolide and how to use this ancient grain both topically as a pack and internally as a tea to build healthy skin from the inside out. Build your ironclad defense. You have a 4-pillar strategy for preventing recurrence: hand sanitation, leaving lesions untouched, fortifying your skin barrier, and maximizing your overall immune power. Practice humility and wisdom. You recognize the clear limits of self-care and know the red flag symptoms that demand you seek professional medical help without delay. My most sincere hope is that this knowledge does not remain mere information in your mind. I pray that it becomes action in your life. I hope it serves as a decisive turning point, liberating you from the long-standing yami nayami, worry over your skin, and empowering you to reclaim a life of health, confidence, and vitality. What I have shared with you today is more than just a collection of facts. It is the culmination of a lifetime of research, a career spent listening to the suffering of patients, and the desperate cry of a physician's conscience. It is my declaration of truth. Please, do not take this message lightly. Start today. Choose one thing, just one, and begin to practice it consistently. Your body will respond. I promise you, you will begin to experience the positive signals of healing. If you have any questions about today's topic, or if you have a personal experience you wish to share, I encourage you to leave a comment below. Your active participation and communication are what build a healthier, more informed community for us all. And if you have not yet done so, please subscribe and press the like button now. It is a small action, but it lends me immense strength to continue bringing these inconvenient truths out into the light. In our next session, we will tackle an even more pervasive and misunderstood issue, the chronic fatigue that plagues modern society. I will reveal the true, hidden causes that no one is talking about and present a revolutionary solution. It is a topic you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Thank you for your time and your attention. This has been Dr. Alistair Finch. Be well.